What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, then simply welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to make an effort to be a little bit more consistent with my uploads, and I'm going to show you all of my current Rick Owens pieces, of course excluding all the pieces that I've sold in the past, but essentially I'll show you all the pieces that I have. This is my little Rick collection video. Some items I've already shown on the channel, and some items will be brand new to the channel, like I've never previewed them before. I've had a few pieces for years, and at least one or two pieces are from the last 2 seasons of Rick, not including Hollywood, which is 2025. So unfortunately I have not gotten a chance to buy anything from there yet. I've been taking a break from buying Rick for a little while, but I've recently gotten more into buying Rick again, so you might be seeing more Rick content on this channel. So let me know if you guys like that. As always, the comment sections are open below, so if you want to suggest any type of video or content, definitely go ahead and just, I don't know, type it up. You know what to do, it's a comment section. I'm going to show you how a couple of pieces fit, talk a little bit about them. I won't spend too long on each piece because that'll be a super long video and your attention spans are fried from TikTok and shit like that. Also, I'll show you a few of the details of the items that I particularly like. Let's get into our first item. This is my little stack, not including the shoes, but first, of course, I'm gonna go ahead and go over the shoes. These Dark Shadow Ramones are the only piece of Rick footwear I have currently. I'm working on changing that, as my next Rick purchase will most likely be a piece of footwear. So they're like a little bit of a nylon. I think they're more like a nylon canvas blend. These feature flat laces, and of course they have a leather toe cap reminiscent of the Converse silhouette. These are getting beat and I need to get these restitched, and maybe some heel drag needs to be repaired underneath. These have the shark tooth bottoms, but they do not say Rick Owens, as these are the Dark Shadow iteration. Rick inside the tag, and then of course the eyelets down there, whatever. You guys already seen these, so let's move on to another item. My next item is from Porterville 2024. This is a sweater essentially, but it has a little bit of a unique shape. It sits kind of high up on the neck, but as always, since Rick Owens is really inspired by athletic wear, it still accents those parts of your shoulder and arm. As a matter of fact, it fits very slim on the arm. It's also in this ribbed construction. This is called the Geo sweater. It's ribbed on the sleeves and most of the chest and body area. However, there are smooth panels and sections, and it's in the shape of this geometric pattern. It is split on the sides, so the hem opens up. It gives you a little bit of versatility and room, because it is a little bit on the slim side. This is an XL I got, and it also fits kind of cropped. Kind of surprised me because it's like part polyester, and I didn't know Rick even used polyester. However, I will say that it's not fully polyester, it's a blend. Not sure how I feel about that, and I didn't know that when I bought it. I was told that it was 100% wool. I did buy it retail, but I just didn't check the tag in the store for some reason. That being said, it's not like a horrible, awful material. The other part of it is viscose, and it is mostly made of viscose, which is like a synthesized material made from like plants. All that being said, it's still a very high quality material. There are different grades to every material. Even your nylons and synthetic materials, there are just high grades versus low grades. Then there are mid-grade versions. I like to wear this with my Rick stuff, of course, but I also can get away with wearing it in other outfits, I think, as long as it kind of fits the avant-garde. As always, Rick Owens and the collection on the tag. Let's move on to the next piece. The next item is definitely an essential, I think, in a wardrobe. This is a long sleeve t-shirt. This is from the Luxor Fall Winter 23 collection, so it's a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker than some of the thinner t-shirts that you guys would normally see from Rick. This one, I know you can't tell on camera maybe, but it is just kind of like a slubby, sort of loose organic cotton. It's kind of hard to describe, even though it looks like a black t-shirt. A lot of times when you get Rick Owens items in hand, it's actually going to tell a different story than on like the website. So the website or pictures online never do it complete justice. I would compare this to like the feeling of a Loop Wheel t-shirt, or maybe the feeling of like one of those reproduction brands like from Japan that do like vintage clothing as far as texture. Now of course the look and design completely different. There's a bar tack on each shoulder, which means that it accents the shape of your shoulder, makes you look all big and strong. There's also a back seam. Most Rick t-shirts are going to have a back seam other than the like oversized ones. It just gives you more of a funnel shape. This is a 100% organic cotton t-shirt as well, with cuffed sleeves and a loose hem. Nothing asymmetrical or crazy, as this is their level t-shirt, just a long sleeve version, so it's more of a standard fit as far as Rick goes, but even the standard fit for Rick is not standard. This is a random Comme des Garçons tank top that's not supposed to be in this video. These are a pair of cropped drop crotch stairs. A lot of people have been wearing drop crotch over the years, but as of I think about 2018-19, drop crotch completely died in all other aspects of fashion. But when Rick does it, no one bats an eye, because I feel like people feel as though he owns the aesthetic. But also Julius, or like BBJ, or is that how you say it? Boris Bajan Saberi, BBS. Yeah, those types of designers, I feel as though they really own that drop crotch aesthetic, so no one really cares too much. But I'm yammering about that, so let me go ahead and move past that detail. Like I said, these are cropped, so they do come up above the ankle intentionally. I have huge calf muscles, so unfortunately they ride up on mine, but when I wear boots or any like taller shoe, they look kind of cool. These are 100% cotton. It's very similar to like a broadcloth. It's a little bit nicer, and I'm not sure exactly if it's organic. These are a pair of mainline pants, made in Italy of course. These have a very small amount of elastane, which helps it stretch, 3%, which is more than you would see in like denim, but not very much. Excuse me, there's rabbit hair all over them. They don't stretch a ton, but just enough to be comfortable. Again, really just 1% more than denim. They have a drawstring closure method as well as a button closure method at the fly. I think these are actually pretty versatile. Rick himself continues to wear this cropped stair in basically just different versions of it every year. There are different materials, but this is the most basic one, and this is also one of the older iterations of this pant. Next up, we have one of my favorite pieces that I have as far as bottom pieces from Rick. These I've had in my closet for the longest time out of all these pieces. I think I don't really know what it's called actually. I think these are the dark shadow iterations. I'm sure these are the dark shadow iterations, and I honestly don't know what the main line is called either, because Rick fans just kind of make up names for stuff, which is not helpful at all. I think asymmetrical cargo boxer shorts or asymmetrical pocket cargo shorts. I need some water, that was a lot. Whatever these are called, they have asymmetrical pockets that extend past the knee. The rest of the short is an above the knee fit. It has about 6 pockets in total, I think, including the cargo pockets on the side and back pockets. Doesn't actually feature the drawstring waist, but I don't like that detail. I wonder why they did that. These are a slight bit too big for me in the waist, but since I cannot find another pair at a good price, I just decided to keep these because these have appreciated so much in value on the resale side. I think they're back up to the retail price. I'll go ahead and just tell you, I got these for like $210 on Grailed like some years ago. That was before Rick had the hype resurgence that is experiencing now. These feature the metal Corozzo buttons. I hope I am pronouncing that right, Corozzo. And apparently these are on the higher end of the button spectrum, which I'm no expert on myself. Buttons do say DS for dark shadow. This is also a mix or like a blend, but I think this was necessary for this design to get this specific texture. This is like something that reminds you of nylon, is just as noisy as nylon. And of course, in part, this is made of nylon, but the other part of it is actually cotton. Of course, dark shadow still is made in Italy. Let's move on to the next piece. All right, here we have a t-shirt, another Rick tee. These tags get super faded and they just like wash away. I wish Rick would do like an embroidery, I guess, instead of a print on the tags, because they just kind of wash away so easily. Sometimes you can never really tell exactly what collection something's from because of that, but it's no huge deal. Yeah, this is the only non-black Rick item that I have, but the color is dust. I expected it to be gray. I also got this from Grailed. This is like the third piece I think I've gotten from Grailed. I expected it to be dark gray. It is not. It is actually more like a moss green, like dusty moss green. This features like a raw hem stitched onto the neck. The actual hem at the bottom of the shirt is sort of raw, a little bit of strings hanging out. The hems at the sleeve are a little bit more clean and they're tight to accent your muscles. This is made of a silk composite blend with cotton and viscose. This is the Olmar and Murda SRL material. If people know Rick, they know that the older Rick stuff was all sourced from Parado, Olmar, and Murda. I cannot pronounce that for some reason, but yeah, it's a company, like a textile company or like distributor, I think, from Europe, specifically in Italy. One correction I have to make, it is not cotton, it's actually viscose and silk mixed together, and that is a very interesting blend. I've never really owned very many silk pieces in my life until I started getting into Rick, and Rick tends to use silk in his designs kind of often. My last bottom piece are the dark shadow my last bottoms are the dark shadow Berlin cut pants. These have a little bit of a history. These have been part of like hype culture. These kind of popularized Rick to a lot of people back in the day. You probably at some point wanted the Berlin cut pants. These are the springtime iteration made of 100% organic cotton. They feature a bit of a slim straight cut, although they are a little bit flowy. I would say that the lighter version, which these are, I would say gives you a little bit less definition on your leg because it kind of just forms to whatever shape your leg is. These do feature the drawstrings, which actually happen to be a pretty big detail on Rick stuff, especially the pants, that people used to honestly want a lot back in the day. It was almost kind of like a flex to have your drawstrings hang out really long, and Fear of God, of course, appropriated this design. These also have like a squarish back pocket with a Velcro. Ooh, do you like ASMR? I actually fucking hate ASMR. That actually fucking hurt me. I don't know why I did that. I'll put it in the video anyway. Let's just see how it sounds. And here's my last top. This is a Rick Owens sleeveless shirt, although he says a sleeveless tank, I guess, on the website. I'm not exactly sure how to classify these. The name changes, but the design is the same. This is like another staple piece in the Rick Owens wardrobe that they just do every year in some iteration. It's from the main line, so the material is a little bit nicer. Now, I can't exactly tell anymore, but I think this was from Spinks. You see how I'm stretching that to its absolute limit? Like, it's pretty much erased. That's the issue with like Rick Owens pieces. Even if you hand wash them, they just kind of fade away on the tag. I bought this as an undershirt. I used to wear this as like a standalone piece, but it shows my nips, and I have dark Hershey Kiss nipples. It's cotton and silk. That's what the tag said before I cut it off. I think it's like a 50-50 blend of cotton and silk. And this is my last and my thickest Rick Owens piece. This is my Felpa fleece jumper. This is also from the Dark Shadow line. A lot of the Dark Shadow and mainline pieces you can wear together, although I think Dark Shadow is more like a streetwear centered avant-garde, more commercialized avant-garde. They used to just produce denim under the name of Slab, but anyways, I'm not gonna get too far into the history. I think I already covered that on this channel anyway. Know that nowadays they produce clothing under Dark Shadow, so it's pretty much still the Rick aesthetic. It's just maybe a little bit more approachable, if you can imagine. There's some nice little pictures of workout benches and like a random head or something on here. The sleeves are super long and the body is really long, that real funnel shape. It works, I guess, but I don't have long arms or a long body, so it kind of looks a little bit silly sometimes, so I have to play with it when I wear it. All that being said, it's a super warm piece, so I don't get cold when I'm wearing it, and that's a good thing. This is also made of 100% cotton. I think it's a pretty unique high-end fleece. I don't see a lot of different brands making clothes out of this specific type of cotton fleece. It's a little bit more substantial than a regular fleece. It looks similar, but it looks thicker, a little bit higher grade on the inside, and the construction is pretty top notch. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what Rick shoes I should buy next, because I am looking to buy some Rick footwear to put into my wardrobe, my collection. As always, my Instagram is plugged, and if you made it to this part in the video, which is pretty much the end, I really appreciate it. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of content, this particular type. I kind of switch around, kind of seeing what type of content I like, but I pretty much do reviews and like pickups and stuff like less often, and I'm moving more into like discussion based videos, because I feel like it's honestly difficult to keep up with buying and buying and buying. I buy a little bit slower nowadays because I have more responsibilities, so the pickups videos may not be as often. So this is my sort of version of it. I'm including pickups with my collection and discussion all together in one. If you like that idea, again, let me know in the comment section. IG is always tagged, DM's always open. Have a nice day.